that we're now in a new stage. In the past, we've spent, people like me have for decades, we have talked about this as a major problem that we face as a planet. But a lot of that was still something in the future. We knew, we are on a trajectory to cause ourselves some major problems, but we were still in a stage where, appropriate action could actually prevent most of that. Now we're in a new stage. Major problems are already starting to happen, and they're going to happen more and more, and we are not going to be able to prevent that. And unfortunately, coastal Louisiana is one of the worst examples in that respect, because we are now in a state that most of this coast is going to disappear. I mean, that means that New Orleans at some point is going to become unsustainable, and we're going to look at massive landward retreat of people, infrastructure, everything. That's going to happen. That said, there's still meaningful action that can be taken, because it's going to be ugly, but we're now kind of in the state of, is it just going to be ugly, or is it going to be incredibly ugly? And I think that incredibly ugly we can still prevent. And yeah, that kind of brings me back to what I said earlier. That's going to depend very much on what we do in the near future. So maybe it won't save New Orleans, but maybe it could save New York, for example.
You mentioned that New Orleans is probably the worst area for this coastal sea level rise issue.
Well, it's actually not the worst, I should add.
Okay, what is the worst?
Well, within the U.S., when you think about major cities, the worst is probably Miami.
Miami.
Yeah.
Okay. So why is Miami worse than New Orleans?
Miami is worse than New Orleans because Miami doesn't have any levees, and it doesn't make any sense to build any levees because, Miami is sitting on limestone.
Yeah.
And limestone is very permeable to water. So if you build a levee, the water is just going to pop up, from underneath. And so the only way to counter that would be some astonishing pumping system that would, within a ring levee, that would just run nonstop, probably using fossil fuel. It's not like, I was talking to someone else about this the other day, it's not like you build something like that